everyone, today I would like to show you how I created my roses with the Diemond Dies die set, and it's the realistic rose die set, and I created these two roses, and I'm going to show you how I created my roses. So for the smaller one I use 5 flowers, and for the bigger one I use 6 flowers. And I'm going to be using a rubber mat, and I'm also going to be using 2 paint brushes, a bigger one and a smaller one, to form my petals. And I'm going to use a pair of scissors and a pair of round nose pliers, and I also like to use some embossing tools as well. So I will get started with the bigger one, and I have my 6 flowers already, and I'm going to take the first 3 flowers and I will put these ones aside, and I'm going to cut in between the petals towards the center, so that I can manipulate my petals more easily to shape the flower. So it looks like this, and I'm going to do that to 3 of the flowers. And the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to bend the petals around my fingernail, and I don't have very long nails, so it's not required to have long nails for this. And I'm going to bend it backwards, and I will show you what it looks like on the back side. So you have something that looks like this, and I'm just putting my nail behind the petal and I'm bending the petal backwards. And you have something that looks like this, and it will look like this on the back side. So I'm going to do that to all my flowers, and I'm going to speed up the process. So now that I have my 6 flowers ready, I'm going to take the first 3 flowers that I cut in between the petals, and I'm going to take my bigger paintbrush, and I'm going to put my paintbrush on top of the petal, and I'm curling it upwards around my paintbrush, like so. And now the petals look like this, and I'm going to take my embossing tool and make the flower this shape. So I'm going to do that to the first 3 flowers. And for the other 3 flowers that I didn't cut in between the petals, I'm going to take my paintbrush again and I'm going under the petal and I'm curling it a little bit upwards like this. So you have something that looks like this. So these are, these are curled like so, and these ones are bent down a little bit. And then I'm going to take my embossing tool again and I'm going to do the same to the next one. And for the last one, I'm not going to use my embossing tool because I want this one to stay quite flat. So I'm going to take one of my first 3 flowers and my hot glue gun. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that you also need a hot glue gun. And I'm going to take my flower and I will take 2 petals that are the opposite ones of each other. So I'm going to skip 2 on each side. And I'm going to take these 2 petals and I'm going to, let me make sure that I'm in frame. I'm going to put them together like this. And then I take my hot glue gun and I'm going to put some glue here, not all the way up. And I'm going to adhere it to my rosebud. And now I'm going to adhere my other petals as well, so the rosebud stays in place. Just a little bit of glue. And the last one. So here's the rosebud, and now I'm going to press it down my table so that this will become flat. And now I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to have my glue along the bottom and on the bottom, and I'm going to put my rosebud in my next rose. So some glue along the edge of the bottom and on the bottom as well, and I'm going to place it like this, and I'm just going to fold all the other petals around my first rosebud like so, and I'm going to make it a little bit flat again by pressing it down my table. And I'm going to do the same thing, some glue around the bottom and on the bottom as well, placing it in my next flower, in the center of my next flower, and then folding the leaves upwards like so. And now I'm going to take the 3 more open flowers and I'm going to have some glue along the bottom again. And I'm going to fold it, the petals a little bit upwards, like so. Maybe it's a little bit tight in the center, but that's why I'm going to use my pair of pliers when all the petals or all the flowers are adhered together. So I'm going to take some more glue along the bottom, and I take my next flower and I do the same thing. And now I'm going to take my last one, the flat one, there's the rose. And now I'm going to take my pair of pliers and I'm going to open the petal some more to make it less tight. So this is what the rose looks like when I'm done, and I can adhere some stickles or some texture paint or some gesso. And now I'm going to show you the smaller one. It's pretty much the same. I'm going to use 5 of the smaller flowers. So I have my flowers already here, and I'm going to take 2 flowers first, and I'm going to cut in between the petals the same that I did for the bigger one. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm taking the flowers and I'm going to bend the petals backwards on top of my finger. I'm using my fingernail again. And so you have something that looks like this on the back side, and I'm going to do that to all my flowers, and I will speed up the process. So now I'm going to take a smaller paintbrush and I'm going to take the first 2 flowers that I cut in between the petals, and I'm going to take my paintbrush on top of every petal and I'm going to bend them upwards like so. The same as we did on this bigger rose, but instead of bending 3 flowers this way, we're just going to bend 2 flowers this way. And I'm going to take my mat and my embossing tool. Oops, I need a smaller one. Like so. And I'm going to do the same to the second flower. And now for the other 3 flowers, I'm going to take my paintbrush and behind the petal, bending it upwards like so. So you get something that looks like this. And I'm going to take my embossing tool again. And for the last one, I'm just leaving it flat. And now I'm going to use my hot glue gun again. And I take my first flower. So I'm skipping these 2 petals. And I'm going to place them like this. And now I'm going to take my glue gun and put some hot glue on the bottom of this petal, like so, and I'm adhering my petal to the rosebud. And you can leave it like this if you want to create some rosebuds. And now I'm going to take my pair of pliers again, and I'm going to bend the petals to make the center more, not so tight, more loose, I guess I should say. So these are my two roses, the smaller and the bigger one, and I really love to create my roses with these dies, and I hope this was a little bit helpful. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. I will have all the links to Diemond Dies in the description box below, as well as the link to this particular die set. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!